Hi, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the Real Real podcast. My name is Bone Dragon, and joining me as always,
Pyxie Dusted!
the one and only. How we doing, Pyxie?
I made the dog bark. Our special guest star for today
Yeah, great.
is the dog.
Awesome.
Say hello to Top Sergeant Buffaroni.
I knew it wasn't going to take long. He was going to show up eventually.
He is
Hi,
rowdy.
Top.
He's rowdy tonight.
Hi, Top.
He's so confused. He's in here with me, and his papa is in the sound booth recording, and he doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah. No, he could probably hear me. He's just like running around like, where's Peepaw?
He's laying on the bed looking around.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
So...
He's starting to calm down now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So, Pyxie has a story to tell... Yeah. I want to do that.
Copyright strike.
All right, so Pyxie has a story to tell us today.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and jump into the intro, and we can get that going.
Okay, little dog.
Let me tell you a story.
Oh, yeah. God, you know how to turn me on.
I threw up in my mouth a little. Okay.
All right.
Are we ready?
So, Pyxie, what is this story that you have to tell us today?
I don't think we have any content warning for this one other than murder. Also, if you are triggered by the Amish, possibly.
How could you be triggered by... Okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna... I'm not gonna point any fingers on that. So...
I don't know. I suppose it's possible.
Well, I mean, I'm sure somebody has something, but whatever.
Yeah. So, for today's tale, we are going back to a crisp spring morning in 1992 in New Holland, Pennsylvania. In the rolling farmlands of Lancaster County, which is famously inhabited by the Amish.
Of course.
So a lot of Pennsylvania Dutch farms.
Okay.
And buffets.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Amish are all over the place.
Yum, yum
there
buffets.
were a bunch in Indiana when we lived there,
Yeah, this is true. And I know just like Christianity, there are different sects of Amish.
Not Amish sex.
No, sect. S-E-C-T. Sect.
Secta.
And I'm not sure which one this is. If they're the more, not devout, strict. If they're the stricter type of Amish people, or if they're a little bit more lenient in their beliefs. I'm unsure as to which one this is, but we'll just say, for the sake of the story, just Amish.
What year is it again?
1992.
Okay.
We're in high school. I'm in high school. I think you're in middle school.
I would be 12 years old at that time. Of course. Wait. What month?
Spring.
Okay, so yeah, no. I would be 11 at that time.
And now everyone knows exactly when you were born.
Exactly. Now everybody knows how old I am.
Gonna steal your identity. Because everyone wants to be Bone Dragon.
Sure. That's not a curse in and of itself.
All right, so 1992, Pennsylvania, Amish country.
Okay.
Okay.
1992.
One spring morning in 1992.
Okay.
All right. Levi Lapp went to his brother Aaron's house.
So Levi and Aaron Lapp.
Yes, they are brothers.
Okay.
As he often did, just to check in, say hi, help with morning chores and such.
Annoy the hell out of them.
Sure. And all he found there was a note left by his brother Aaron that said, "Gone for the weekend, visiting family for church matters. We'll return Monday. Don't worry about the animals. Arranged for the neighbor boys to help." So Aaron, his wife Miriam, and their 5 children, Eli, Michael, Sarah, Ruth, and Daisy, had all left their farm, left the Amish community to go off and attend some type of church matters.
Okay. That's kind of interesting because I don't know. I mean, I really don't know a whole lot about Amish society, but
Right, but I was under the impression that other than like for Rumspringa, they didn't leave their communities.
well, I know that they go out for like, my understanding of it is that Amish people it's not that they can't use electronics and tools and travel and do stuff like that. It's just that they're not allowed to own stuff like that.
Right, and I
So-
know that they go out and do like work for other people and sell their things that they've made and stuff like that. So, I mean, okay, yeah, they've gone somewhere and they've
Yeah.
left a note,
All right.
but they never returned.
Oh. Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
They ran for the hills.
Yeah, they've run away.
They've run away. They've gone on the permanent Rumspringa.
So, of course, the community responded the way that a normal Amish community would respond, with prayer, mutual support, deep reluctance to involve the outsiders, which, they refer to as the English, including not involving law enforcement.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
the note-
okay.
And the note seemed to explain everything they needed to know, that they were gone for the weekend. They were attending to some church business. But as the days turned to weeks and then months, the community kind of felt like maybe there was something going on. None of the relatives in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, or even Ontario, Canada, had seen them.
Wow, all the way in Canada.
Right.
Okay.
So after a week, the police were called. And the police came to their farm and did a perfunctory investigation. They didn't find any evidence of a struggle and no signs of foul play. So they marked the case as voluntary disappearance, and the case was closed.
So they just left. That's what the police are saying.
Yes.
Or whoever.
Yes, the police are saying they left.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Maybe they didn't want to be part of the community anymore, but the police washed their hands of the case.
I want to play my video games.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was.
That's what it is. I need to
So-
play my video games.
So their house stood empty. No one else came to occupy their house. Their neighbors tilled their fields, and each year a memorial service was held to remember their memory with annual prayers.
Now, why can't we have a community like that?
Because we're not Amish.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, that just seems like that'd be
It
really
seems nice. Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
nice.
just to have like neighbors that you could rely on to do stuff like that for you.
Right.
Not
Exactly.
like, people that won't mow your lawn while you go on a week vacation.
Our
Hint,
neighbors
hint,
don't
wink,
mow
wink.
their lawn when they're home or we're home. So, I mean, we live in the country.
I know, but
Lawns don't get mowed
they
here.
could be decent individuals, man.
No, that
God,
don't. No, I don't expect the neighbors to mow the yard.
now I gotta mow the yard.
All right. So each year on the anniversary of the disappearance, Aaron's brother Levi hosted a remembrance service where they would have prayers and look at old photos of the family and just remember them and kind of wonder where they were.
Right.
In 2002, 10 years after they vanished, it was the smallest gathering ever, just close family, elders, a few friends. They prayed, they sang hymns in Pennsylvania Dutch, they shared stories, and then, as was tradition, they gathered around the table to look at old photographs and mementos of the family.
Right.
It was at this memorial service that Daniel Zook, a family friend, picked up a picture of the family gathered on the porch, a photograph that was taken just a day or two before they vanished.
And they were all naked.
No, they were not.
Oh.
He studied the photograph and pointed at the laundry line in the background hanging from the porch and said something to the effect of, "Why would Miriam leave fresh washing out on the line if they were leaving for the weekend? No good Amish housewife would leave laundry out for 3 days."
That is a good question.
Exactly.
That kind of makes you wonder.
The group that was there gathered around, leaned in closer, looked at the picture, and they all noticed something else. Among the clothing hanging on the laundry line, there was something a little out of place.
Lingerie.
No. No.
Yes.
See, I know what it is, and I'm getting ready to reveal to you what it is.
Gear.
And it could my mind is going, well, it could be. It could be,
no.
but no.
I was only joking.
Okay, so what it actually was a fluorescent yellow vest with the word police partially visible on the back, hanging from the laundry line.
Police?
Police. Like those little reflective vests they wear.
Yeah.
That was hanging on the laundry line. So everyone recognized this vest because the Amish liaison from the police department was constantly there. He was a good guy. He knew everybody. They were friends with him. It was Officer Paul Brenner. So they knew that's who this vest belonged to.
Okay.
And he would come and make frequent visits and help with barn raisings and be at community events. And so, they were used to him being around, and they recognized this as being his. So, determined to find the truth, Levi, Aaron's brother, after this discovery, decided to go and search his brother's house again. The same house that's been closed up for 10 years with nobody in there. And in a chest at the foot of the bed, he found this vest, clean and neatly folded. Brenner's name stitched on the front.
Huh. Okay.
So Levi called the police station, but Brenner was out for the day. It was his day off. So he decided he wanted to return the vest in person and probably talk to Brenner. On his way to the police station, Levi witnessed 2 men in dark, unmarked uniforms harassing a neighbor. The neighbor's name was Jacob Yodar.
But cops don't mess with white people.
It wasn't cops.
Okay.
It was 2 men in dark, unmarked uniforms.
Gotcha.
So I'm thinking maybe like a dark jumpsuit or what you would, not what they wear now, but like what you would think of like back in the day of garbage men wearing or something.
Right.
Just some type of dark
coveralls.
Yeah, just some type of dark, unmarked uniform.
Gotcha.
And they were pressuring him to sell his land. They only left when Levi threatened to call the police.
Hmm.
I'm thinking, I think I'm saying his name wrong. I don't think it's Jacob. I think it's Jacob.
Right.
I think it's like Jacob with a Y. Sorry about that.
Because, the Dutch have to be different.
I have like just the tiniest amount of Dutch in me, so let's be nice.
I'm being nice.
So
I
Jacob
make fun of everybody equally.
Okay, so Jacob at this time revealed to Levi that similar pressure he had heard had been applied to Aaron before his disappearance, that there were developers eager to buy Amish land for a mysterious project.
Huh.
So later that day, I'm guessing Aaron went on to the police station, and of course, with it being Brenner's day off, he wasn't able to return the vest. He wasn't able to talk to Brenner. So he went back home, and later that day, a stranger arrived at Aaron's farmhouse, where Levi was still hanging out, offering to buy the property for half its value. He showed Levi a map with the farmhouse circled for development, but Levi noticed another marked area in the nearby mountains.
It was a Tesla logo.
Absolutely not. So the man brushed off Levi's questions and tried to rush his sale, trying to, get Levi to agree to selling Aaron's farm.
Okay.
And he directed him to a modern office building at the foot of the mountain that he could go to complete this sale. So, just out of curiosity, kind of following a lead, Levi decided to go ahead and go there. And he saw the staff in that office wearing the same unmarked dark uniforms as the men who had been harassing Jacob.
Huh.
Obviously,
Okay.
he's in the right place. He's onto something.
Well, right.
So while he was waiting, he glanced at an architectural model of the area, and it showed the entire Amish Valley replaced by commercial developments, except for one spot on the mountain that was marked Amish Heritage Memorial, preserving
Oh.
memory of Pennsylvania's plain people.
Oh. Okay.
Memory, not presence.
The memory.
The
Right.
memory. So, this kind of set off some red flags for Levi. He's like, okay, there's something shady going on.
Yeah.
This is not on the up and up. So, as he's thinking this, he looks out the window of the office building he's in and saw that same black truck from Jacob's farm that those two guys had been in, and Officer Brenner's patrol car heading up the mountain road. And he thought, oh, I should probably leave the office and follow them.
Oh. So Brenner is in on it.
Sounds like it.
Sure seems that way. Okay.
So Levi
Told you.
followed.
Told you can't trust cops.
Levi followed, which led him to a mountain construction site. Levi put on a hard hat and vest and blended right in with the workers. He watched as Brenner met with the two developers.
Except for that beard. The beard gave him away.
Just a little bit. The beard with the no mustache.
Yeah.
You like to rock the Amish beard look sometimes.
Sometimes, and sometimes I just look at myself and go, oh my God, I look ridiculous.
I think you look cute no matter what you do.
Oh, whatever.
Except when you do chops and shave your chin. I
like doing chops.
I don't like the Wolverine look.
Oh my God.
Not into the Wolverine look.
Not fun, then.
Yeah. Just not my thing. Not my thing. So, as he's just kind of, sneaking around the construction site, trying to see what he can see and hear what he can hear, he did overhear their conversation. And the workers said something to the The developers said something to the effect of, "We stored them here, the whole family. Once we clear out the remaining Amish, this whole valley will be ours to develop. Shopping
Oh
centers,
no.
housing, tourist attractions, and you'll help us, Officer Brenner, just like before."
Oh no.
Yes. Levi watched in horror as the workers dug up human bones from the shallow grave. Remains the developers boasted belonged to the Lapps and a few others who got too curious.
Oh.
So Levi raced back down the mountain and called 911. Within minutes, the police and state investigators swarmed the site.
How you gonna mess with the Amish like that, though? That's messed up.
I think they felt like it would be an easy con,
Right?
because they are so wary about involving outsiders outside of their community. So they're not as likely to go to the police. They're not as likely to be untrusting and think that you're up to something.
And they are more likely to just roll over and take it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So Brenner, the developers, and their associates were arrested. At the police station, the detective in charge of the case took Levi's statement, and they found overwhelming evidence: human remains, the developer's journal dealing with the conspiracy, and multiple pieces of evidence of Brenner's involvement. The investigation revealed that Brenner, using his position as the Amish liaison, had actually orchestrated the Lapps' disappearance.
Oh.
The developers had pressured Aaron to sell, and he refused. So when Aaron refused to sell his farm, Brenner lured the family to the mountain under the guise of it being church matters that they needed to come attend to, and that's where they were murdered by Brenner and a few of the developer associates together and buried there.
Oh, man.
The overarching plan, or overarching, I don't know how to exactly.
I think it's arcing.
I said overarching, but I've heard other people call it overarching, so I don't know. Either way,
okay.
The master plan was to clear the valley of Amish families, develop the land, and then erect a memorial to the very people that they had destroyed.
Sounds really familiar, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. So there were DNA tests done on the remains that were found, and they were confirmed to be Aaron, Marion, and their 5 children, as well as a few others from the Amish community, as well as the other local surrounding communities that got a little too close to what was going on.
Huh, okay.
For Levi and his mother Esther, this was all devastating and a relief, because they had finally figured out what had happened to the rest of their family. And the community from then on trusted outsiders even less.
Well, I would say so.
Than they had before.
Right?
Because they had been targets for exploitation because of their trust. So, the tale that I just told you, was it something that really happened? Or is it a work of fiction? Is it real or real?
Huh, okay. This is kind of a toughie. But, like, I don't know. I find it really difficult to believe that anybody's really going to mess with the Amish like that, you know? But I could also see some corporate land baron thinking that he could just get away with that. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to call it fiction. I think it's fiction.
Well, you are correct.
Yay!
This is a internet story. The origins are unknown. The original author is unknown, but it pops up every few years going around much like a creepypasta and being purported as being real, but it is complete
It's
fiction.
not. Okay.
And recently, like within the last month, it's been making its rounds on TikTok once again, being presented as an actual true crime that happened in Pennsylvania.
Like something that really happened, even though it didn't. Okay.
Yes,
Okay, I got you.
exactly.
Huh.
So good job. Yes, this was fake. It was.
It just seemed a
real.
little too hard to believe, you know?
I was invested until Levi was doing all the running around and snooping, and how did he get up the mountain so fast on foot,
Right.
or in his buggy without anybody noticing
Right.
that this guy's just walking into this construction site?
That just seems a bit hard.
And
to
it
believe,
all
you know?
wrapped up too quickly, like there
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
a lot of details about the end of it and what happened and what charges were brought and all of that. There was no investigation
It's too quick and too clean.
other than like Levi calling the police and like, look, I found
Look what
all
I
this.
found, you know? Yeah.
Come
okay.
arrest them. And the police were like, okay.
Yeah, and they just did.
Yeah.
Instead of like,
Yeah, I'm going to trust
maybe
you
we should
over-
investigate
I'm gonna
this as well.
Trust you instead of one of our officers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
So
we all know how much cops don't trust each other.
yeah, I didn't say it was well written. I'm just saying this is the story that's going around. This is the story that's once again making its rounds. I want to say it started way back in the early 2000s. It started being told. It does vary as to whether the thing that tipped Levi off was a photograph or an additional note that was found. Like the evidence that got him searching and trying to investigate varies from story to story.
Okay.
For the most part, all of the details stay the same each time it's retold. So it's like a modern day campfire story.
All right.
And I don't think there's a moral, as most modern day campfire stories do have, like something of like, don't hang out in cars on Lover's Lane because the guy with the hook will get you. There's usually some kind of moral, but I can't figure out what it would be in this one. I guess don't
I can think of one.
trust outsiders. don't trust anybody.
If you've been listening to me this whole time, then you will know that the moral of the story is don't mess with the Amish.
Yeah, that could be the moral of the story.
Or it could be not to trust cops.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But so there it is.
Awesome.
Well, hopefully that was long enough. I felt like I kind of rushed through it a little.
No, you're fine.
Of course, we did have a dog barking for a half an hour at the beginning.
Yay, dog barks. Little top.
We can leave the dog barks in. Yeah.
Tippy, tappy, top. I love top. Anyway. All right, everybody. So that is our episode 4 of the Real or Real podcast. Did you catch on to this story? Or
Probably.
did you...
Were you duped?
Were you duped? You know what?
weren't.
If it's a story that you found from TikTok, I could see a lot of people thinking that it's real.
Yeah.
But of course, we all know that everything on the internet is real.
And the dog has come back to say goodbye.
Yes.
You hear him barking? Do you hear him barking? Do you hear him barking?
Say bye, Top.
Of course, now he's stopped.
Yeah, of course. now when we want
Now
him
that
to
we
say
want
goodbye.
him to talk, he's like, no, I'm good.
No, I'm not doing that.
No.
All right, everybody. So there you go. If you found this story interesting, if you like the concept of the show, then be sure to like, subscribe, do all that cute stuff. Or if you're listening on Spotify, then give us a follow. That'd be really nice. Or maybe throw us some comments and whatnot.
And rate the show. Rate the show on Spotify.
Oh, and we figured out a way to get people to be able to be guests on the show. So, if you have an interesting story to tell us that you think that you'd be able to stump Pyxie and myself with, then just send us an email at Crojan, CROWJAN .designs, DESIGNS @gmail.com. And if we think it's interesting enough, then yeah, we'll toss you a link and you can hop onto the show and tell us your story.
Spoilers, we'll think it's interesting.
I'm pretty sure we'll think it's interesting.
More spoilers, it's not hard to fool me.
You almost had me with this one today.
That's close. I almost got you.
Almost
got you. Yeah.
That's fine. All right, everybody. Be good people. Oh, wait, I can't say that. That's James A. Janice.
Until next time, keep it real.
Don't crap on yourself.
No, keep it real.
No. Yeah, there you go. Keep it real.
Until next time, keep it real.
Keep it real.
Bye-bye.